Hello, 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 my beloved souls. Blessed be, blessed day. I hope everyone can see me okay. I have this like ring light thing that I'm trying. I don't know. I know my hair is a mess, but anyway, I didn't come on here for that. Um, I don't know. Hold on, guys. Let me get better light. All right, that's a bit better. I think that's better. You might not even need this ring lighty thing. Anyway, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, my beloved souls? Blessed be, blessed day. I'm Autumn, the Enlightened Daughter. For those of you who don't know me, for those of you who do, welcome back, High Vibe Tribe. So, just really quickly, I just wanted to jump on about these eclipse energies, right? And it's heavy. Okay, like I don't know how else to describe it. This energy is very heavy. I've been feeling super emotional. 111, I just on the clock. Super emotional. Just bouts of random emotions, but they're like up this roller coaster, right? And it'll like, and I know it's not my energy, right? And so that's the challenging part, is to be able to be walking around receiving these energies and then transmuting them immediately, right? Like that's what's happening. And I'm cycling and I'm cycling, I'm cycling, I'm cycling, I'm transmuting, I'm transmuting, I'm transmuting, I'm transmuting, I was joking the other day because I keep calling upon Archangel Zachiel with the violet flame, and I'm like, he must be so sick of me, because it's like I'm calling him like, yo, can I get the violet flame again? Can you help me over here? Can you heal this area? Can you pour the flame into this location? Like, there's just a lot happening, and there's a lot of volatility going on, a lot of heavy emotions. You may be feeling like really angry and frustrated and want to kind of like hit something, or you might be feeling just like really emotional and almost like broken, sad, depressed, potentially even suicidal for some people, so just know that, like, if that is you and if these emotions are going so far that you're thinking about harming yourself, like, please give me a call. My number's down below. At no point, at no point do I want anyone who can hear my voice and see my face to ever feel like they're alone. As long as I'm here, you're not alone, right? We already know that you got the angels and guides. You're a physical person that you could call and count on to help you through these energies, okay? I just want to put that out there. Like, I'm very clear about that. Suicide is a problem and we need to deal with it. Anyway, so it's been challenging for me to stay grounded. Um, no, I'm not even going to say stay grounded. I'm going to say that I've had to increase my practices to be grounded, right? Like, I've had to go in and go hard and to do it more and to do it more. And I'm in meditation more, and I'm trying to slow my breathing more. And it just feels very constrictive, this energy, right? It feels very tight, it feels very constricted. It feels suffocating, is all I can think of. Um, it it feels like you're in a coffin, right? And you're trying to breathe, but you're buried. And it's like, well, how can I breathe freely? Am I going to get free air again? When can I get out of this coffin? Like, what's happening? Why am I being buried alive? Like, it's that heavy of an energy, right? It's very, very intense. And it has a lot, and a lot of it you're going to see when it comes to relationships and partnerships, right? Like, I put it out there before, but I'm going to say it again, guys. Like, if you happen to be with someone and shit was kind of like on the rocks before, or there was red flags before, or there was any kind of like trauma triggers or anything like that going up, yep, you're going to be dealing with it again, and this time big time, right? So I mean, big blow ups, big relationships, divorces, relationships coming to an end, people moving out, the fat boys break up, like, it's just like all types of crazy shit going on, right? And not to laugh and like make light of it, because a lot of these energies are very heavy, but it's how we're responding to things that's really going to make or break us at this time. It's how we are showing up in the world, it's going to make or break us at this time. We have all been given ample warning and hints and clues as to what's going to be happening on the planet, right? Whether you're checking like the astrology, or you just are really tuned into your higher self and paying attention to even the messages in nature with Gaia, right? Like, we've all been getting breadcrumbs along the way, right? What's happening across the globe isn't necessarily surprising, although it's very saddening, right? But humans unfortunately like war and discord and stress and strife. And so that's something that is being healed within the collective. But that's going to take some time, right? We've spent years, eons in this energy of pain and suffering and war and violence and condemnation and judgment and all the energy of fear. However, it chooses to show itself in this realm. And now we're healing that, right? And so with all the light that's coming onto this planet, with all the light codes, sorry, I just realized I was probably kind of low, with all the light that's coming onto this planet and all the light codes that have been coming in as well, right? Where there's more light, dual universe, there's more darkness, right? And not so much that the darkness has been increased, but more so that you are now seeing it, right? Because now it's like there's no way for it, there's nothing for it to hide, right? Like, it's like you're in a house, right? You're cleaning up, and there's an overturned box, and you go to lift the box up, and all these fucking roaches start scattering, and there's mice and everything that's been kind of like hiding under that box in the dirt in the basement in the corner. Right now, you pull the box up, the light's shining on it, and it's like everything is going scattering, right? Everything's looking for a home, everything's trying to defend itself, everything feels cornered and trapped, right? So it's like being in a world right now, unfortunately, in so many areas. And you're probably seeing this, within your realm as well on smaller scales, but like being surrounded by a whole bunch of caged animals, right? And imagine that energy of a caged animal, right? Like, soon as you get near it, it's fucking fearful, it's on guard, it's defensive, its stress levels are super high, it's trying to just survive, right? Like, that's what this planet has been in. We've been a planet of fucking caged animals. We've all been in survival mode. We're clawing our way out of these coffins, out of the dirt, trying to breathe again, right? Trying to see the light, praying to God that there is something on the other side of that, right? Praying to God that you can get out of this early grave that you've been put into, right? And we're crawling and we're scraping and we're crying our ways to the light, and it's scary and it's heavy and it's overwhelming, and then on top of it, you're not the only one, right? So then on top of all the bullshit that you're growing through right now, the healings you're growing through, the karma that you've had to clear, the generational curses, how you're using your gifts, how you're responding to life. Are you reactive? Are you responsive, right? Are you making choices that are going to serve your highest and greatest good and serve your soul and serve your purpose? Or are you still making choices that are based off of fear and lack and scarcity, right? And not feeling worthy or loved or enough, right? Like, these are all the things that are going on right now. There's a lot being shaken up to bring things into balance during this Libra energy, right? That new moon was in Libra, right? And so, although we had that eclipse, right? And the eclipse does what to our light? Like, it puts a shadow over our light for a moment, right? So things that might have seemed bright and cheery and fun and fantastic all of a sudden go dark, right? And then you're seeing another side of this energy, and then the lights come back on, right? And it's almost like, well, did I see what I just saw, or was that an illusion as well, right? And so for many of you, that illusion, or what you thought you had a very clear understanding of, comprehension of, a lot of you are going to see that it was a distorted view, right? That the light was actually blocked out for a second, and now that the light is actually shining to its fullness, where you're seeing everything with crystal clear clarity, right? Now you have different decisions to make. There is a lot of heavy energy on this planet right now that is causing discord and arguments and fights and wars and upheavals and chaos, and there's challenges and there's obstacles and there's, there's all these shifts and switches going on, and it can feel magnanimous, right? And again, we've been guided continuously for weeks upon weeks, if not months, actually, probably months, but especially in the most recent weeks, as we've been building towards this energy, as we're building towards the 1010 portal, as we're heading towards the 1111 portal and this fucking eclipse season. Like, there's so much going on. And the messages that keep coming in from our higher conscious, right, from the Most High, is to stay grounded, stay in the now, right, and make sure that you open your hearts. I went into meditation yesterday morning, and it was a pretty heavy energy. First of all, the energies have been super heavy in general, right? You guys already know that I'm hashtag team no sleep. It's fucking aggravating. But on top of just like my regular like not sleeping pattern, like, sometimes I get a little break on the weekend because I don't have to get the kids up early. And if I wake up that early, I can be like, hey guys, can I get a minute to go back to sleep? The one time I can actually get some sleep. It's especially hard for me because once I'm up, right? So that's even more of a challenge to be able to fall back asleep, and to do so peacefully is challenging for me. So this weekend, oh, the wake up times were disrespectful. They were just it was just disrespectful. Like, so what is the weekend? Like, you need to get up and you have work to do. And I was like, wow, I just laid down. Like, I literally just laid down. Like, okay, so what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? What's there to talk about? What do you guys have to say right now that you needed to wake me up at 2, whatever, or 3, whatever, or 4, whatever, on a fucking Saturday and Sunday? Um, but it is what it is, right? We do the work that we do. But I went into a really deep meditation, and I was trying to just calm my energies. I was trying to just get grounded. It was taking a while for me to get grounded. Um, and I just was like, there's a lot on my mind. There's a lot that I'm growing through right now. 12:12, I just saw on the clock. And, I'm giving it to God. I'm like, look, I put it on the altar. I don't want to think about this anymore. I don't want this to be my thoughts when I wake up. You know what I mean? Like, help me clear my head. So as I'm doing my normal meditation, setting my energy for myself and my children, and just shielding and protecting us, I was guided to do a global one, and I do that often, where I send light across the planet. But there was like this really big energy of like, it was really needed today. And I'm like, okay, so it's connecting with the energy of the planet, sending love everywhere, especially to the areas that are affected by wars, um, you know, crazy weather patterns, all these things. So as I was connecting with that energy and the energy of the collective, I was drawn to Putin, and I was drawn to the leader of the Hamas, um, whatever this thing that they're doing right now, the Hamas versus Israel, Palestinian, whatever that chaos is. Um, but I was just drawn to their energies, and I was like, okay, well, that's interesting. And so I was just trying to send love and just like connect and just, send love and send peace and send harmony, right? Because if you guys are the ones in charge that can, you know, end or start this war, then I need to be dealing with you, more so than anything else, right? So when I connected with the energy of the leader of the Hamas, I was so taken aback by the energy that I felt. And I felt this deep regret and sadness. I felt this frustration, like why did I have to go so far? It's almost like if you have a parent and they're disciplining you verbally. And I don't know if you guys know about this. I know in Black communities they used to say, like, when they hit you with a belt, and it'd be like, it hurts me more than it hurts you to do this, right? Like, that's how I felt when I connected with his energy. Like, so hurt that action had to be taken. So hurt by the boundaries that was crossed. So hurt by having to be the face of this discord. And it was some of the saddest energy I've ever felt, right? I felt him like broken down, crying, like literally sobbing in my arms. That was the connection that I had with him. And I sent him so much love, so much healing. And I would just held him. in my arms for a really long time. And then, once I had my moment with him, I was shifted over to Putin. And again, I'm in meditation and I'm like, what's up with these dudes? Like, why are we, what's this conversation about? Right. Like normally it's like, I'm just very focused on like our tribe or like my family or my friends or even just my area. But it was very interesting to me that I was expanded out to take on these bigger kind of like souls and their energies, and or to connect with them, not take on, to connect with them. And with Putin, poor baby, he such a lost, distorted soul, and he has this kind of like death wish, right? And I was so taken aback by that because I was like, really, a death wish? Because he seems like he wants to be like a world conqueror. Um, and so part of him does have that like grandiose, like kind of like Mongolian Empire, king of the world, master of the universe, kind of Hitlerish kind of energy around him. Absolutely does. But there's also this kind of energy of I want to kind of die, like that death by policeman kind of energy, right? So it's not that I have the courage to kill myself, right? Or not that I even have the courage to say that I don't want to be here anymore. It's I'm gonna keep doing things to put my life at risk, and hopefully one of these motherfuckers will make it happen. Or if not, then it's just gonna show to the world that I'm fucking invincible, right? Like that was the energy that I got from him, and I was very taken aback because we were having like soul to soul conversations, but like his egoic mind and just the energy that he's on is on some next shit, right? Not that that's surprising to hear, but it was very sad because that is extending the turmoil and the trauma that's going on in that area, right? That is risking so many more lives. So many more people are going to die because of this kind of petulant child, right? That has like something to prove. And so after coming out of those energies and just dealing with those two very different energies, right? Very different. There are two people that are in charge of these fucking wars, and one is relishing in it. He was connected very much with like the Aries god of war energy I was getting from Putin. Hades almost like, I don't know, like it's not enough death, it's not enough chaos yet. Like they just needed to be more there. Um, as opposed to this Hamas energy, who was just like the last thing that wanted to do, but was just like, I don't know what else to do. Like I can't keep letting you hurt me. I can't keep letting you violate me. I can't keep letting you cross my boundaries, right? And so that was just very reflective of where the planet is at, right? Like you have so many people dealing with such heavy energies, right? And fear has many different forms and many different faces, as does love, right? Because an act of love may not always feel good, right? An act of love might be you telling your child that they need to go sit down in their room and they're really frustrated, right? And it doesn't feel good to them. They're in their room and they're grounded and they don't have their toys and they can't talk on their phone and they can't, use their devices. And to them, that moment doesn't feel good. But as the parent loving them, you're like, no, I'm grounding you because I told you to be home at 10 o'clock yesterday and to drive safely. And you decided not only were you going to break curfew, but that you were fucking like you had a drink or you were in the car with someone who had been drinking and they're not of age. Like I need to trust that you're going to be responsible and safe. And I love you too much to not discipline you in that moment, right? Like that's a very real thing, right? As opposed to someone who is just like, just poking the bear. You know what I mean? So be compassionate and patient with people at this time. Understand that, again, this is a very heavy energy. Um, and the energies are running all across the gamut, right? So you might be feeling really emotional. You might be feeling really angry. You might be feeling really frustrated. You might be feeling very constricted, right? again, that caged animal kind of thing, right? For some people, this caged animal thing, this caged animal energy is going to make them fight like they've never fought before. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, right? This is reclaiming your power. This is you fighting for the things you believe in. This is you finally setting some boundaries and standing by them, right? Like that's that energy, right? It might be like, you know what? I know at 5:05 the guard is going to come, switch our water, open the door, like then they're going to take a coffee break, whatever the escape plan might be, right? Like you're getting ready to fight your way out of this, right? And because of that, because you've been a caged animal for so long, because you're fighting your way out, because you made the decision that that was a place that you were, but that doesn't define who you are, right? When you guys fight that fight or get over your own selves and stop being the weapon that forms against you to prosper, the other side of this eclipse energy is gonna be sweet. And I mean like sweet, sweet, sweeter than cherry pie sweet. Like it's gonna be fantastic when you start seeing those miracles coming in, start seeing those blessings, really just start seeing your manifestations in the 3D start to manifest. Like it's gonna be delicious. However, a lot of that is indicative on how you're showing up during this time, right? Like what your integrity looks like. Are you being the reactive person that's just popping off on everybody because people are going through some shit right now and the world's losing its mind and you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna lose it with it, like ah! Or are you staying grounded and staying centered and taking a step back when you need to and taking a few more deep breaths when you need to and understanding that none of this is personal and that people are projecting and that maybe there's a lesson there or maybe there's some grace there, and what is this here to show me, and God, thank you for supporting me, and thank you for highlighting this energy to me, because people are going to be reflecting or projecting shit onto you, right? And so is this a projection or is this a reflection? Is this an energy that you're still in, or is this an energy of who you were and it's being reflected back to you to see if you're still in the same bullshit or if you have actually grown? Many times when we're going through this cycle of life, we're doing it like this. It's never just like an upward path. We think of ascension and we're like, oh, we're just gonna go up the steps. No, you get to loop, and sometimes you're looping on the same level for a while until you figure it out, and then you get to loop it again. And as we're looping in our ascension, we're coming back to some of the same energies, right? We're coming back to this energy. We're coming back to a scenario that's playing out the same way. And every time we heal and ascend and elevate, we get to look at that same scenario from different perspectives, right? And that empowers us, that strengthens us, that gives us a little bit more clarity, a little bit more guidance as to what's really going on and around us, right? What we're really growing through at that time. Have we actually changed? Or are we the same person that, started this path a minute ago? Are we still full of shit, or are we actually like better than we thought we were, right? Like, did we actually heal this? Is it still triggering? There are things that trigger us and they can throw you, if you're not centered, if you're not grounded. It can be a scent, it could be a name, it could be a color, it can be a song, right? And as these things are going down, it's just important for you to stay really grounded. It's important for you to keep your hearts open. There's a big, heavy energy in the heart space. Hold on, my battery is going low. Okay, this big, heavy energy in the heart area, right? So just a reminder, one, to keep our hearts open, but also to stay really, really grounded. There was Gaia was showing me like so many of us light workers and way showers, and we connect with our energy, we connect our energy to her, and we release a lot of the density into Gaia, right? For transmutation, she helps to heal and to release that energy of us. But we're forgetting sometimes that not only are we receiving healing, but we can also receive the very riches of the earth, right? The nutrients, the gems, the, like all of that stuff, right? Like that is Gaia's as well, as she's pouring that into us. And so for some of you, and I know I saw this in meditation, like there's been such a block in the heart space. There's been sorry, I feel that as I connect with you guys' energy, I feel it get heavy again. So taking some really deep breaths, like really slowing your breathing down is going to be really helpful. If you have any green crystals or pink crystals, those would be great to work with right now. Green aventurine, rose quartz, rainbow quartz, anything like that. Um, Listening to heart chakra meditations or frequencies on YouTube will help as well. So, okay. Ooh, I just felt like I'm talking to you guys. I just felt so. That is another reminder again, like keep your heart open, make sure that you're making decisions from your heart space and not the egoic mind. The egoic mind is trying to fight right now because the universe is bringing balance into our world. The universe is shaking shit up. The universe is getting rid of shit that does not serve you. And I know that that doesn't always feel like that. I know that it doesn't. I know that it doesn't feel like grace when you're losing your heart, your car, your home, your job, your relationship, your fucking mind, right? It doesn't feel like grace in those moments. It feels like chaos. It feels like calamity. It feels like punishment. It feels like you're wrong and that you've been crazy and that you're delusional and that you thought you had faith, but actually you were playing yourself. Like that's what that feels like when you're in the midst of all this shit, right? And and I know it's challenging, but that's the times when we need to remember even more the declarations that we made of ourselves. We need to remember anymore that this world doesn't have the final say about who we are, but we belong to a higher God, right? A higher entity, right? So remember who and whose you are and everything, right? I am daughter or the son of the divine, right? Like I am powerful. My words create universes. Like really start to pour into yourself. If you don't read any spiritual texts or things like that, like find some type of book or some type of wording that's going to inspire you on a regular basis and keep that playing in your mind, right? I love A Course in Miracles. I think it's one of the best spiritual texts. The Bible obviously is very popular, but read it for yourself. Don't go by someone else's interpretation of it, right? Like you can read a quote and completely take it out of context and live your whole life fucked up, right? Like start reading the books for yourself and hold on to that, right? It says very clearly in the Bible that like you want to meditate on the word day in and day out. Why? So that when you're faced with life's challenges, you can remember, no, fuck that. This world is an illusion. Like God said very clearly, that like he will give me the desires of my heart. So obviously I'm going to get what I want here because I'm not hurting anyone and I'm not taking from anyone. So yeah, I might be a little delayed. I might be a little challenged, but that's not a no. That's not a denial. It doesn't mean that I can't get this thing, right? Like really start talking to yourself, remember I am of the two most powerful worlds in this universe. Like what are you saying after that? I am strong, I am worthy, I am dynamic, I am empowered, I am magnificent, I am abundant, I am rich, bitch. Like what are you saying? You know what I mean? Like get it out there. But be mindful to watch your temper. Be mindful of people that are easily triggered, right? um be mindful of the toxic female and the toxic masculine, right? The toxic female who's going to try to manipulate and coerce and be petty and undermine and, does all the low blows when it comes to words, or the toxic masculine who has a fairly emotional ego and is always kind of like responding in a way that's unhealthy or speaking to you in a condescending manner or, you know, um, taking his anger or his frustration out on you because he doesn't know how to express himself, right? Like those are big things that are going on right now, right? And while you're growing through these things and you're facing your challenges and stuff, like the best way to get your mind off of your own problems and your situations and your worries and your fears is to focus on someone else, to help someone else, right? And I know it sounds cliche, but it's like do something, do a kindness for this person. I don't care if it's fuck a neighbor, a person at your job, the bus driver, right? My shuttle bus driver is so awesome. He's so sweet. So the other day I made banana muffins. and we bought him some muffins because he drinks coffee, 2 things of coffee every morning. And I'm like, here's some food to go with your fucking coffee since you're killing your insides, you know? Or like my neighbor um, has really bad arthritis, doesn't want to do what she needs to do to heal, which is why I haven't helped her. But she's kind of incapacitated. So I've been like going over and checking on her, like going back to the store, back and forth to the store. Now, is my life perfect? No, I have so much shit going down. Y'all probably wouldn't even believe me the way I'd be showing up and smiling on here. Like people would be like, "How do you smile every day?" And I'm like, "Cause frowning ain't gonna change my situation." You know what I'm saying? But if I smile and raise my vibration, guess what I get to do? Expedite the process, right? There's good in everything. There's grace everywhere, right? So maybe just focus on giving your energy, right? Sending love out to the entire planet will be so helpful right now. And not just to the areas that are war torn, you know, but the entire globe. Everybody needs some love right now. Everybody needs some love. Doesn't matter if they're dealing with poor weather patterns, war, a sick parent or loved one, you know, dealing with their finances, their emotions, whatever the fucking case may be. We could all use a little bit of love, right? Make sure you're praying for people. Make sure that you're meditating, right? Make sure that you're staying grounded and centered. If you can, get out into nature, connect with Gaia, like do the things that you can do to stay centered, to stay grounded, to keep your hearts open. It's gonna make it so much easier for you to traverse these energies. Because like I said, on the other side of this shit, depending on how you're showing up, it's gonna be sweeter than cherry pie, motherfucking smooth sailing. But that's up to you. How you're showing up right now is going to be the tell all. All right. So I'm giving you the answers to the test. If you fail it, that's on you, homie. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there because I got shit to do. But I love you. My hair is like, what? I love you. God loves you. Angels surround you. I will see you guys soon. I'm wishing you all the luck during this time. Don't forget, you know, eclipse energy lasts for about 6 months, right? So we really want to be very clear about the things that we're putting out in the universe. We want to be very grounded and centered at this time. We want to make sure that we're being responsive and not reactive to the situations that are going on, right? And we want to make sure that the seeds that we're planting in the garden aren't fucking weeds, right? Just putting it out there. All right. I love you. God loves you. Angels surround you. Later, my beloveds.